the meaning of dystopia, and how it's connected to 1984. Dystopia is an imagined place or state in which everything is unpleasant or bad, typically a totalitarian or environmental degraded one. Dystopias are often characterized by dehumanization, totalitarian governments, environmental disaster, or other characteristics associated with a cataclysmic decline in society. 1984 takes place in a futuristic society where everything is bad, and one of the worst crime you can do is thought crime. In the world of Big Brother, the totalitarian government has full control over the people. The government uses hate, anger, and mind control to brainwash the people. Freedom is slavery because according to the party, the man who is independent is doomed to fail. By the same token, slavery is freedom because the man subjected to the collective will is free from danger and wants.
Germany during Adolf Hitler's regime is a great example of why a society based on hate cannot survive for a long time. The key here is to understand that the Nazi state affected different people in different ways. For the majority of the people, life was horrible, the economy was low, and the money started to lose value. But for the Nazi party members, they were happy. They had all the best houses, preferential treatment, good jobs, and more importantly, the power over the people. The Treaty of Versailles was perhaps the most humiliating portion of the treaty for defeated Germany. The Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to accept complete responsibility for initiating World War I. The Germans were outraged by the Treaty of Versailles. Because of the treaty, Germany lost 10% of land, 48% of industry, and more humiliating terms like limiting their armed forces and paying for reparation. This transformed much of Germany into hating on the Jewish people and the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler was a good motivational speaker. Although anti-Semitism always existed in Europe, and because of the Depression, Hitler was able to convince the people of Germany to blame everything on the Jewish people. Germans, including Hitler, believed that they were the purest Aryan race, therefore the master race. They believed that the Jews have no place in Germany. Hate is what kept Hitler in power. Hate led him to create an extermination camps for the Jewish people. Hate led him to conquer most of Europe. Hatred did overtake people's mind and won their hearts for a short period of time. But eventually, the Nazi Germany was defeated and fell. This connects to Winston's idea that a society cannot be based on hatred, that hatred will eventually disintegrate. Hitler's hate was defeated because the Allied forces finally realized that he was a threat, and he will not stop until he conquers the world.
The Soviet Union was taken over by democracy. The United States rejoined while watching the enemy fall. The fall of the Soviet Union transformed politically and economically throughout the world. This was a relief for the people who suffered all those years. In the book, 1984, Big Brother controlled the people of Oceania by using fear and hate to keep control and power. Winston's idea about how a world with hate and fear could not last is completely correct. Like the Soviet Union, Big Brother used similar tactics to control their people. However, after many years, the Soviet Union was finally defeated and eventually fell.
Like what we have read in 1984, the Book of the Giver has a similar idea of a dystopian society. They have a society that eliminates pain, suffering, and emotion by converting to sameness. The people in the society can't see color, don't have memories of the past, and have little privacy. The elders control everything, and the people in the community don't have the freedom to choose or make their own decisions. The elders don't want them to choose for themselves because they say that they will make wrong decisions. In this book, the main character, who is the receiver of memories, knows the truth of the community and tries to put a stop to it.
The totalitarian nation of Panem is divided between 12 districts and the capital. Each year, the controller of Panem forces one male and one female from each of the 12 districts to participate in the Hunger Games in order to control future rebellions. Part entertainment, part brutal retribution for a past rebellion, the televised games are broadcast throughout Panem. When Katniss's young sister Prim is selected as the District 12's female representative, Katniss volunteers to take her place. The rules are very simple. The 24 players must kill each other and survive in the wilderness until only one remains. The games are broadcast through the capital and the 12 districts to entertain and imitate the population. Throughout the Hunger Games series, the capital and all the other districts viewed District 12 as a weak brute people. However, it starts from an individual from the weakest collective that the revolution begins. The capital people, which are basically the devoted party members from 1984, are the most spirited because they are brainwashed to love it since birth. The Hunger Games demonstrates levels of rank. For example, the capital people would be considered the devoted party members, whereas District 12 would be considered the pearls. The Hunger Games is similar to 1984 because, like Big Brother who controls the government, President Snow controls what occurs during the Hunger Games. Also, the capital people are entertained by the violence occurring in the fight for survival, like the people of Oceania were entertained by war.
A quote from O'Brien. Do you begin to see, then, what kind of world we are creating? It is the exact opposite of the stupid hedonistic utopias that the old reformers imagined. A world of fear and treachery is torment. A world of trampling and being trampled upon. A world which will grow not less but more merciless as it refines itself. We are here to answer one simple question, and that is, can hatred really survive in a society? Well, we don't generally agree with O'Brien, but we do know that hatred is an easy emotion to arouse, just as its opposite, love, is difficult to arouse. It doesn't take much imagination to figure out that a society based on hate is bound to fail, because there is no support from one person to the next. A society based on love and respect for your fellow beings is going to survive naturally. A society such as the Palestinians, who seem to thrive under hatred of Jews, will never survive, even if they destroy Israel. Once they destroy this quote-unquote enemy, who will they hate next? Only themselves, and they will end up eating up themselves in their own hatred. And this is the reasons why hatred cannot survive in a society. It cannot sustain itself. Hatred is not simply the only feeling you can have in a society. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. And down with Big Brother.